Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Friar Talk. We're here after a 2-2 split with the Rockies. Unfortunately, not something we wanted. I think a 2-2 split is kind of disappointing, especially considering the Padres seem to be allergic to first place. The Giants swept the Dodgers, and we weren't able to take first place from the Dodgers today. But nonetheless, you split the series. It's all right. Still a very good team. You look at Blake Snell start. Yes, he allowed 2 runs, but in 6 innings pitch, you'll take that all day. And when you really look at it deeper, um, I believe there was only one hit that was, I believe, over 85 miles per hour. So a lot of soft contact from Blake Snell, just little bloopers and ground balls fighting the holes. Chase, what did you think of Blake Snell's start today? What did you think of, I guess, the series in general?
It was a disappointing last couple of games. I mean, you had the Nick Martinez start that was great, but you watched Gore really struggle heavily for the first time. He gets pulled after what was it, 3 2/3 of an inning. They put
Yeah.
Stammen in. He gives up the rest of Gore's runner, which I don't know why they took him out right there. I think you let him finish the fourth inning. He was only at like 60 something pitches. I think you let him go out there and finish it just so that he has that confidence that he finished an inning. Could have gone worse. It could have gone better. We won't know. But ultimately, I think he was pulled too soon. That game went out of reach, unfortunately. Um, then you have today's game where you get a quality start out of Blake Snell. Yeah, he walked a couple, but he went 6 innings. He looked pretty good. Struck out 7, and then your bullpen blows it in the 8th inning, which our bullpen had been solid before. I mean, outside of a few guys, we all know, Craig Stammen, Tim Hill, and a couple other guys have been struggling. We have always mentioned how Luis Garcia is very hit and miss. He's either going to strike out the side or he's going to struggle a little bit. And I guess the roll of the dice was that he's going to struggle today. Really wish you take one of those 2 games because you're tied in first with the Dodgers. But no, we still reside half a game back, and they're on a losing streak, which now would have been the time to capitalize. Like I said earlier, I think my biggest concern was playing down to the level of our competition, and it kind of looked like we did that, at least for the pitchers. We still scored a couple of runs on offense. Voit hit a home run. Power starting to show. It was an all right series. I think there's a lot of things that could have been improved. Kind of worried about our whole team right now because of the COVID exposure. Who's going to get it? Who's going to have to miss games? We're already missing Bowmel. Can kind of tell, like, okay, maybe Christensen isn't cut out to be a manager, which is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew we definitely knew he wasn't. It was an unfortunate place for him to be in. I think what I take from this series is that there was a lot to be desired. Um, I think you can kind of say, like, them not having not only their manager but their backup manager, so they had the backup to the backup. Um, you could definitely say that had an impact, but overall, this offense didn't really hit. They only scored, I believe, 2 runs in both of the last 2 games.
Yep.
Um, I mean, yeah, lots to be desired. You look at German Marquez; he came in with over a 6 ERA, but German Marquez always pitches pretty good against the Padres. I don't know why. It's kind of like Merrill Kelly, but yeah, man, a lot to be desired. Who do you think? Uh, I guess I could ask. I wonder if there's anyone worried about Mackenzie Gore. I know I'm not worried about Mackenzie Gore. What did you take away from Mackenzie Gore's start?
Oh, it's everyone has a struggle start in the MLB. Darvish
Mhm.
had his against the Giants. Snell has had a few. Clev really hasn't hit one yet. We saw Martinez kind of struggle within games, but always kind of get out of it relatively unscathed. But we know he's going to end up getting one. Every pitcher does. Kershaw does. Bueller's gotten roughed up this year. Frieda gets roughed up. Every pitcher in the league gets roughed up. Even Garrett Cole.
Mhm.
No matter who you are, you're going to go through a rough game, and it depends on how he comes out of it. He was killing it across the league, kind of cruising on easy mode, if you will, and he finally met some competition, and he had a rough outing. I mean, that's all you can really say. I think he's fine. I think he's going to learn from this experience. I don't think, I'm not too worried about anything. It's a rough outing. Every pitcher goes through it.
Yeah, definitely a pretty tough outing for him. I mean, his pitches weren't really there, but like you said, everyone's going to struggle, especially a young pitcher like Mackenzie Gore. Um, there's just going to be struggles along the road. We knew that would happen, but um, I don't know. There's really nothing to take away from this series. I don't think anyone had a great series. I don't think anyone had a particularly bad series. Obviously, we can look at Eric Hosmer and say he's just not hitting very well, but there's a lot of guys that aren't hitting very well. I'm okay with the split. It just hurts more that the Giants swept the Dodgers and we weren't able to take, at least one of these last two games to be able
Yeah.
to take the lead. Um, you look at the Dodgers right now, they're definitely having a lot of struggles. Walker Buehler out 6 to 8 weeks. Um, I mean, who knows? It could be extended. He's actually not supposed to pick up a ball for 6 to 8 weeks, so it'll definitely be more than that because he's got to have his rehab start, stuff like that. But the Dodgers just they don't look very good right now. Do I expect them to pick it up? Yes, but I mean, this was a good time for the Padres to take advantage, and they absolutely didn't. Um, Jaron is asking or is talking about Ha-seong Kim. Kim hitting 175 in June. Think this is who he is, but it's tough to watch him. Can't wait for Tatis to come back. I wish he didn't get robbed today. That definitely would have helped his average, just slugging everything. He hit that ball really solid. Unfortunately, got robbed of a home run today. But yeah, man. I mean, I'll pull up his numbers right now. He definitely doesn't look like the same player that he was on the 2 week stretch. And there's a lot of players out there that'll have those hot starts. But let me pull up his numbers. Chase, what do you think of Ha-seong Kim?
Uh, he's always going to be like a very hit and miss guy. I think what we were expecting was that he was going to come around and be this all-star based off that 2 weeks, but realistically,
Yeah.
still takes a couple of years to adjust to the MLB, especially coming from the KBO where the level of competition isn't as high as Japan or the minor league systems here. It's just a complete level. I think it took Jung Ho Kong from the Pirates 2, maybe 3 years getting everyday reps for him to finally become like I wouldn't say an all-star, but an above average player. And it doesn't help that, we've talked about the baseballs being, not juiced, kind of just them misusing them, using different types of baseballs. I think that doesn't help. But he usually comes around when you need him to. He may not hit all the time, but usually when there's a runner on and there's a good opportunity to score, he'll usually come up and get at you that run. But he's really only good for his defense right now. That's basically it. I mean, it's kind of like the opposite of Hosmer. At least he has defense.
Yeah, and you look at across the league right now when it comes to shortstops, I believe he's top five in a couple defensive categories, that being, I think, outs above average and one more. You look at it from a hitting standpoint, it's definitely not very good. You look at May, he's hit 196 with a 560 OPS. In the month of June so far, he's hitting 175 with a 467 OPS. Um, and he only has one home run in the last 2 months, it looks like. I mean, he got robbed from one today, so potentially two, but still only one. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It sucks because Ha-seong Kim had this really nice 2 week stretch. Everyone thought he was going to be great. Yeah, this is going to be the year that he had a 750 plus OPS, this and that. And you look at, I tried to make a comparison earlier this year. I said, I think he needs to be somewhat like Tommy Edman. And you look at it, Tommy Edman is a top 5 player in baseball right now. And I wasn't expecting Ha-seong Kim to be a top 5 player in baseball right now. I was expecting Ha-seong Kim to be like the Tommy Edman of last year, who, didn't have that high of OPS, but was great defensively, won a Gold Glove, and he's not very valuable. I would say he's not a very valuable player right now. I think your defense can only save you so much. I would say the same with Trent Grisham earlier in the year. Your defense can really only save you so much. And it's funny because earlier this year he was talking about it's helped that I'm getting everyday at bats. I don't have to worry about getting taken out if I don't do good. Well, he's still getting everyday at bats, but he's just not doing good. I mean, I don't know what to say about him. I don't know about you guys, but Charlie Blackmon's beard would look good on the Padres. Yeah, Charlie Blackmon. I'm not very interested. That's just me though.
I think it would be a nice addition. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with
Mm,
it. I don't think the Rockies are going to ask for anything too expensive with them. He's going to be a free agent. He's a nice lefty bat. He can play all three outfield positions. I think it really depends on where his health is at the trade deadline, because last year, he was dealing with an injury. I can't remember what it was, but I remember watching one of the Rockies series, and you could see him. He wasn't really sprinting to the ball like an outfielder should have. It was kind of just jogging, and it's because he was either dealing with a back or hammy injury. So really, it's just dependent on his health when come trade deadline. Though the only weak spot really right now is center field. I think if you trade for Blackmon, you upgrade defensively or upgrade offensively, but you take it. I wouldn't say steep step back, but a bigger step back defensively than any other options that you have.
Yeah.
Profar has been fine. Mazzola had a pretty nice season for the most part, outside of yesterday, where I think in the first game he went hitless. Yeah. But he had a pretty nice series. I'd like to see a little more power out of him. Most of the times it's just kind of little line drive singles, which I'm okay with. It gets him on base, but I'd like to see a little more power out of him, especially considering right field is supposed to be, one of your power spots in the lineup.
Yeah, and we were just talking about Ha-seong Kim. I'm trying to find the question: should we trade Kim if he can't pick it up? I would say no, not because I am such a huge fan of keeping him, but because what you're gonna get out of Ha-seong Kim in a trade, you're gonna get like nothing. I think you're gonna have to lose the trade. He's making $7 million. He can't get option to the minor leagues. I mean, I don't think you're gonna be able to win a trade. You kind of just have to wait it out and see. Do I think he'll get better? Yeah, I do. Maybe not this year, but next. But like I said, it's not because I want to keep Kim in particular. It's just that you're not going to get the best value out of him. It's kind of like Blake Snell earlier. Dennis Lin, I saw something that Dennis Lin was talking about. He said that the Padres would be open to trading Blake Snell, which of course I don't want, but they would be open to trading Blake Snell, but his value is at its lowest. So I really don't think there's any point of trading him.
Yeah, 5 ERA will do that to you, but outside of that, he looked really good today. He looks like he's finally coming around. I mean, it was a good start for him. I know a lot of people were talking about Alfaro needs more at bats, which I agree. Alfaro does need more at bats. He just shouldn't be catching. Nola should be the catcher. He should be the everyday catcher. Nola is just better defensively. I like the way he calls games. All the pitchers seem very comfortable with him. It's just really good that way. I think Voit should move over to first, and Alfaro should get some more DH reps. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that is the way that it should work. I mean, that just sounds like the best case scenario. You get Hosmer's bat out of the lineup. You give him some time to fix his swing or sit the bench, because honestly, I don't know if his launch angle can go any lower than what it was. Last time I checked, it was 2.5. Let me see if it went up any more or decreased. Pretty sure it decreased. But outside of that, yeah. Who do you think should get more reps at catcher? Alfaro or Nola?
At the catcher position?
Yes, at the catcher position.
Behind the plate, you definitely got to go with Nola. I think they're both pretty average catchers. I think they're just there. You look at it from a hitting standpoint, is Alfaro much better? Yes, but you look at it from just a pure catcher standpoint, I think they're both pretty average. What you get out of Nola, he calls really good games, and he's a solid just catcher behind the plate. He can frame very well. He has quiet hands, everything like that. You just get a better arm from Alfaro. That's what Nola lacks significantly. He does not have an arm. But when you look at it from a hitting standpoint, you're going to get much more out of Alfaro. So when you go just purely from a behind the plate standpoint, you can go with Nola. But at the plate, you want Alfaro up there. But that's also why you have a DH spot. And you look at it, Hosmer is not deserving of many reps. I mean, I'm gonna look it up right now. I essentially think you can't afford to have him in the lineup for much longer. Did he have? I mean, he had a solid sacrifice fly today. Like, I was really surprised he hit that one pretty solid. But dude, you look at it. You look at the month of April. We always say, we've said it multiple times. April Haas is different, but when it comes time to the rest of the months and everything like that, Hosmer's not going to come around. You looked at his launch angle, lowest it's ever been. There were so many things that were lower than it's ever been. Launch angle, exit velocity, stuff like that. Everything pointed to an Eric Hosmer decline. Month of April, he hit 389 with over 1,000 OPS. Cool. Month of May, at 265 with little under a 700 OPS. June, he's hitting 139 with looks like it is under a 400 OPS. So I don't think he deserves to be in the lineup every day. I mean, even against righties, it's kind of looking hard for him. That's what I was talking about with Alfaro. Is luckily you have a DH spot because, I mean, there's only one catcher position, and there is another position to put him. We need his bat in the lineup. I really think Alfaro is a good bat. Does he get on a lot? No, but he hits for average and he can hit for power.
So there is an interesting thought here. Blackwell said Alfaro could play center, I bet, because he's quick, which I don't know if you knew this, that Alfaro is like in the 89th percentile in sprint speed this year. He's ridiculously fast for his size, which I know we all thought he was going to be the starting, left fielder?
Left fielder.
I wouldn't mind him getting some reps in the outfield. However, he has come out and said, look, I will play anywhere that you guys need me, but I'm a catcher first. So he wants to be behind the plate. That's where he's most comfortable. He will play outfield if he needs him to, but at that point, you're trying to taking Profar out of his element, or Profar has been probably one of the best outfielders, not probably hitting wise, but defensively, one of the best left fielders, if not the best left fielder defensively. He's been doing really good with the bat recently. I mean, you can't take him out of his element. I don't think that that's unless you got it. Okay.
What is that?
Stupid bot.
Oh yeah, he's back. Yeah, I mean, go for it. Sorry.
Well, yeah, you can't take Profar out of his element. We saw Profar in center field. We've seen it a couple times. It's not great. I mean, yes, you're going to be like, okay, it's a very major upgrade over Grisham's bat. But center field is a big upgrade defensively compared to left field. It's just a lot more ground to cover. You're the kind of captain of the outfield. You got to call everyone off. You got to do a lot more things compared to left field. So I think you got to keep Profar right there.
Yeah, man. You look at it. Profar is actually, I believe, a top 3 left fielder right now. If you go by F4, I believe he's a top 3 left fielder in baseball. So taking him out absolutely does not make sense. And you're right. That is pretty much where the Marlins exclusively played Alfaro last year. And that's kind of where we thought he would play this year, at least some of the time. But yeah, you're absolutely right. You can't really take Profar out of there. He's just been doing so good. The Marlins played Alfaro. Any chance they play him there and have Profar in center to get him in the lineup? Should Grisham keep struggling? Hold on. Let me make sure Trent Grisham is still doing good before I say anything.
He was, I think, hitting under 200 in his last 15.
Last 15?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Last 15, he's hitting. Last 15, he's hitting 229 with the 851 OPS.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So I don't really think he's struggling. He's actually doing pretty good. And he's
playing better. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's an improvement.
Well, Chase, here's the thing that I was talking about with average. This is what I was thinking about with average yesterday, right? I was watching that Dodgers-Giants game, and I was like, okay, yes, I like batting average and everything. But there's a reason OPS and other numbers have taken over batting average, because there's guys throwing 101 plus 100 miles per hour consistently, able to throw 3-0 sliders across the plate with confidence, stuff like that you just never saw in the day and age of Tony Gwynn, where guys were maybe throwing 95, maybe. So yes, average was very important back then. Right now, at this time, when guys are throwing 100 plus with the stuff like Corbin Burns, Joe Musgrove, it is too hard to hit for average to have too high of a of a thought of average. That is why OPS has taken over so much, because not only does it incorporate average, it incorporates your walks, how often you hit doubles. So, I mean, I'm gonna try stop looking at average too much. Though,
But then you want to look at WOBA. You want to look at WOBA and WRC then.
WRC plus, yes, that one's a good one too. But like I said, OPS is basically, I mean, it's taken over. That's the one everyone talks about right now. Average is too hard. It's too hard in the league right now to hit for average, I think, because like I said, there's guys throwing 100. So 229 is not good, but a 351 on base percentage and a 500 slugging percentage is pretty damn good.
Here's my problem. Is you're making this justification, right? That he's doing really good with that. You're making a really solid justification for Preller to go and trade for Gallo for the same exact reason.
Trent Grisham doesn't strike out as much as Gallo.
Yeah, but Gallo also walks probably more.
And also, Trent Grisham does not look as horrendous on defense as Gallo.
As of right now.
As of right now, yeah.
Because Gallo's usually a really solid defender. But all I hear is, when you make the OPS argument, the same exact argument Prowler's going to make for Gallo.
Let's see what Joey Gallo's doing.
Oh, no, he's probably struggling right now. But he's still, the Rangers boy. He's the golden child.
Oh, yeah.
He can't do no wrong to Preller.
I also think Preller might. Oh, no. Hold on.
He's the golden child, Isaac. He is the chosen one.
Joey Gallo has a 333 on base percentage with a 667 slugging percentage in his last 7 games. In his last 15, no, he's actually doing pretty good. 312 on base percentage with a 421 slugging percentage in his last 30 games.
That's still under a 750.
That's still under 750, but it's a lot better than I expected. Yeah, but I don't know. I definitely think Trent Grisham's doing good. Yes, 229 average isn't very good, but he's getting on. He's hitting for power. That is essentially what the Padres have needed.
It is. Yeah, we are desperately struggling for some power. That's why it was great when Cronenworth was hitting.
Yeah, definitely. Cronenworth, he's definitely coming around. I think pretty much all the Padres lineups coming around. It's just these 2 games kind of sucked. It's gonna happen though.
You were due for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they're just burnt out from scoring 7 runs a game for 4 games in a row.
And they're also playing some really tough teams too. You're gonna go from playing the Cardinals, the Brewers, and the Mets to playing the Rockies. You're whatever.
I could take a triple. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I could take it easy. Yeah,
so
let's see.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
If Grisham continues, not let's say he still has over or under a 750 OPS within the next 2 weeks, do you call up Esteury Ruiz and sit up Grisham?
Dude, I want to call him up no matter what, to be honest, whether it's to play a corner outfield spot, play center field. I don't know what it is, but he's just doing too good. I mean, you look at it, he's having an amazing season in AAA and AA. He was balling out too. He's just making it look easy down there. Yeah, I kind of just think Trent Grisham's having his little hot streak right now. But I don't know. The only time will tell with that. If Grisham starts to struggle again, yeah, I definitely think Trent Grisham is not only going to get benched, but he will be on the trade block. So at that point, yes, you'll see Ruiz. Abrams is also having himself a really solid last couple games, at least down in AAA.
Did he just go 5 for 5?
5 for 6. Yeah, he went crazy, dude.
Yeah. Speaking of AAA, did you all see the SpongeBob uniforms?
Dude,
those were so great. I loved
them. So did I. Yeah, CJ's doing pretty solid right now. Do I think we'll see him up again this year? Honestly, I doubt it. Maybe in September, but I mean, Campusano and Ruiz, I definitely think should get the call up.
I just don't know how you don't call him up at this point. He's still hitting over 300. He's still slugging. He's quick. He gets a ton of stolen bases. I just don't know how you keep him down. It's just we need it. We need a center field. We need some sort of life in the outfield, and I think he can provide it right now, and they're just kind of letting him sit there.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I definitely thought he'd be up at some point, or at least by now. Maybe we'll see him before the All-Star break. I kind of think,
I'm gonna pull up his stats right now.
yeah. I mean, you look at it right now. Profar's doing good. Grisham's doing better. Field Mazara's honestly doing pretty good. Do I think he's a long-term solution? No. I know there's a lot of people saying, when talking about corner outfield spots and trading, I hear a common argument. I hear, well, we have Nomar Mazara. You think a World Series winning team is going to have Nomar Mazara in right field? I mean, I don't think that's going to be the case. Is he doing good? Yes. I don't think he can start consistently, but I think he'd be a great outfield depth piece. I mean, that's all I think he can be. Is he a good player? He's playing good right now. I mean, I think he's okay.
I think he is an average right fielder with below average power right now. That's legitimately all he is. He is great for hitting singles, but outside of that, he went, I think 3 for 4. But one of them was an infield single, and 2 of them line drives to, I believe, the right fielder. There were 1 hoppers to the right fielder, which he's hitting the ball decently hard, but we need a little bit more than singles for this offense to work. And so, Isaac, since being called up to AAA, he's apparently gotten even better. Ruiz is now hitting .355 with a .482 on base percentage for an 1132 OPS.
Yeah, I mean, he's been fantastic in both levels. He's been fantastic the whole season. I'm kind of having a tough time figuring out why he hasn't gotten a little bit of a chance yet. I mean, you see Rooker getting called up before him. Who was the guy that got called up today? I believe he was an outfielder today, right? Or he was an outfielder?
No, it was
Tyler,
a relief pitcher.
he
was a right-handed pitcher.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of confusing. I'm trying to find some questions. Let's see.
What is the holdup with Ruiz? I mean, how much more can you prove in the minor leagues before a team calls you up?
No, definitely, man. Definitely.
It
seems like every time.
Video game stats.
Yeah, it seems like every time, you log into like some sort of Padres media source, you see something about how good he's doing, man. I mean, he's definitely been fantastic. It's hard to see why they keep holding him down there. But I do think we'll see him sometime soon. Who my favorite? I told him the Nick. Chase. You're not gonna like that, are you?
I don't agree. I really don't. I think we're seeing a hot stretch from Mazara right now, and then when he goes downhill, everybody's gonna be like, "This is why he wasn't on an MLB team."
Yeah.
I mean, I think there was one thing I was surprised about. Speaking of the guys that got brought up, why didn't Brett Rooker get in that bat?
Dude, I have no clue, bro. I feel like he deserves one, right?
Right. I think Reese Kinnear kind of earned his spot onto a roster for a relief role, but I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah, he definitely looked good too. I was actually really surprised. Now I don't know if you saw what I think it was Matt. I think he tweeted about Reese Kinnear. It's good that he looked good, so that way he can be used in the trade. What do you think of that?
I think, yeah, I like it. He almost went, 5 innings? He went 4 2/3.
I think so.
He looked really good. But I think you can only do so much in AAA to increase your value. I think you have to stay up in the MLB to actually increase your value further. Yeah, making a 4 or 5 inning relief spin just really shows off like you belong in the MLB, but being sent down kind of hurts your value at that point. If you really wanted to increase his value, you got to keep him up and let him keep pitching in the MLB, because then you go, okay, we have this hybrid guy under contract for the next 4 years. He can start, he can be long relief, and he can do short relief. That is how you increase his value. You don't just throw him back to the minor leagues after a good relief appearance.
Yeah. And I mean, we even talked about it last year. I feel like there's always somebody in the Padres system that is essentially a trade piece that is just getting shown off to so that way he can increase his trade value. And I think Reese Kinnear should try and be one of those guys. They should try and have Reese Kinnear be one of those guys, because I mean he's not terrible. I'm not the biggest Reese Kinnear fan, but out of the bullpen he looks solid, and he's started out some games on bullpen days. I think he's an okay pitcher. I think teams like the Royals, like the Pirates, would enjoy him. That comment I like Mazzaro over Myers is so funny. I wanted to hear what you had to say.
No.
Let's see.
Here's a good one.
Oh, you had one?
Oh, there we go.
Oh shit. Go for it now. I'm not gonna click it again.
Okay.
So I don't think it's possible anymore. I mean, maybe. But
did JD play first at all?
I'm sure he can. It can't be that hard.
I'm pretty sure he has. I think if he
has
plays
too.
first, this would be a lot more interesting.
So the reason I say it, and it's just right now, I'm just going based off right now. I'm not going to try and say, if the Red Sox start sucking again, then maybe. But as of right now, the Red Sox are actually doing really well. I think they locked themselves up not locked themselves up, but they got themselves into a pretty competitive race for that 6th spot in the playoffs right now. And remember back a couple months ago, they looked pretty terrible. Nobody thought they were going to be in a playoff spot, but you look at them right now, they're back in that playoff spot. They're back in that playoff hunt with the Angels. I forgot how long ago it was, but at one point in like a 30-game stretch, something like that, they had the best record in baseball. So I mean, they look a lot better than they did not that long ago. So that's why I kind of think any possibility of like a Martinez trade, a Verdugo trade, anything like that was kind of off the table. I think Verdugo is still on the table just because, I mean, he's not doing as good as guys like Martinez, stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know if a JD Martinez trade is possible right now.
And even then, he doesn't start a lot of games in the outfield. He is primarily a DH. I think he played 36 games out of 162 last year in the outfield. The rest of them were starts at DH. He has not played a single rep in the outfield this year. All 50 games DH. So you're trading for another DH, and at that point you got to get rid of Haas, which getting rid of Haas good or bad for the team. I think you can make both arguments. You can argue that Haas is good for the team because of the whole leadership. He's like the team guy in the dugout and everything. Everybody loves him. And at the same time, you can argue, well, he's making too much money. He plays crap defense. He swings a crap bat. He only hits ground balls and does nothing for us on offense. You can make both arguments, but which argument are the Padres going to make?
Yep, 100%. I mean, I want them gone. I want him gone so bad, but it's not going to happen, man. It sucks. It sucks so bad. I hate that the guys like him so much, but I can't blame them because, I mean, I don't know anything about Hosmer personally, but they all like him. So, it is what it is. Isaac, the biggest Reese Kinnear enthusiast. Trust me, I'm not. Let's see. I'm trying to find more. Damn. Well, I don't have any questions. I guess the question I'll have to ask you. I'll go for it. Do you think two?
How many bats? How many new bats?
How many new bats? Yeah, 2.
Yeah,
2.
Where? Are you thinking center and right then?
No, I'm thinking. Oh, is he saying including or excluding Tatis?
In addition to Tatis.
In addition, so I'm counting Tatis in one more bat.
No, it would be so just Tatis
one
plus
extra bat other than Tatis. Yeah, I just mean
2
Tatis plus 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were saying we need 2 more guys. I'm like, what positions are we filling here? Center and right field?
I guess you could say. I think some people would make an argument for catcher because they want what's his name.
Everyone's in love with Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, everybody wants Wilson Contreras. But I think just one extra bat would be good.
I think you do the one. I think you swing for an outfielder that can play center if you need and right field.
Yeah.
Should we trade one of our pitchers now?
No.
You might get a nice little package for Martinez, though.
Dude, I think so too. I think everyone's looking at the wrong pitcher to trade. Everybody wants to trade Blake Snell, but
Martinez.
it's got to be Martinez, right? Because he's only making, what is it, 5 million?
Something like that.
5 million this year. If he opts out, he's going to go make more, of course. But I think everyone's kind of forgetting, like, dude, if he keeps up at this pace, he's going to opt out. Like, you're better off trading the guy that has potential, that is going to leave if he keeps up at this pace, rather than the guy that has an extra year of control. I think we just got to stay patient with Blake. Like, he had a 6 innings pitch, two run outing. Today, he had that against the Cardinals. And not to mention, most of his best outings come after the All-Star break. I believe he has a 2.83, 2.93 ERA after the All-Star break. You look at it after the All-Star break last year, Blake Snell was fantastic. He showed that. So we're not that far away from the All-Star break. So I kind of just think you got to hold on to Blake Snell, man.
Oh, yeah. I think you wait on Blake Snell and you start taking offers for Nick Martinez. I mean, like you said, he could ease opt out after this year to go make more money.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really what he does if he continues to pitch like this. I mean, he might not, depending on how the Padres decide to play him, just because if he's more of a bullpen role, you could argue that, hey, guess what? You're not going to make that $5 million. But he could argue, I showed enough that I was when I was a starter that teams are going to want me for more than $5 million and opt out. So it's also like we made an episode about this. It's hard trading a pitcher right now just because after this year, you're losing a combination of Manaea, Musgrove, and Clev. And then the year after that, you're losing Darvish and Snell. The only man on that rotation right now that is set to be there for years is Mackenzie Gore and or Nick Martinez if he does not opt out.
Yeah, 100%. And then after that, you got guys like Ryan Weathers. Only time will tell. Robert Gasser. But like I said, guys, Ryan Weathers. Have I given up on Ryan Weathers? No, but it's definitely not very enlightening to see his stats down in the minors. But it just, to me, it really doesn't make sense to get rid of Blake Snell instead of somebody like Nick Martinez. I mean, Nick Martinez, you're going to be able to sell him at his highest value. I really think this is his highest value if he keeps it up.
Yeah, hold up. I'm checking Weathers' stats to see if they've gotten any better. Never mind, they have not.
Who's that? Weathers?
Yeah, I think the last time we checked on him, he was a little below a 7, and now he's at a 7.29.
Oh, God. That's not
good. Let me see. Where is the game log?
So, quick question. Do you think this is kind of like Mackenzie Gore all over again? Do you think he just needs time, or are you like, I'm not too confident?
See, my thing is that with Mackenzie Gore, he was dealing with what do you call it? He was dealing with the finger blister and he was dealing with mechanics. You know, he didn't get called up to the MLB to just absolutely crapped on for like 2 or 3 months after he lost it. He didn't get an opportunity to go down and work on himself in the minor leagues. They just kept throwing Weathers out there, and you can see it in his face that he was just like, I don't want to do this no more. Yeah. Every single outing, he was getting lit up, just left out there to just he was just left out there and just to get rocked, basically, just because we didn't have starting pitching, which we could have called up a few different guys. Adrian Martinez was still there. You could have called him up. There was definitely ways you could have avoided this situation, but the Padres are just like, yeah, you know what? You're going to go out there. You're going to get rocked, and there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to make this start every single day or every single outing. I know you're going through it right now, but there's nothing we can do anything. And
yeah, that sucked for him.
What's his most recent start? His most recent start, he went 6.2 innings, which is good. 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 2 home runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. The one before that, 4.2 innings, 6 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. And then in May, the one before that, 5.1 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 home run. Dude, he is giving up home runs left and right.
Yeah, man. And he was kind of that
Almost,
like that.
Dude, no. In the month of May, there's only 1 game where he didn't give up a home run.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember his last couple starts in the MLB was a home run almost every outing, also. So I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe we should still be a little patient with him, but the way he pitches, I mean, it's almost it's only been one time where I've seen a good report from Ryan Weathers, and I mean, I'm not trying to crap on the kid. He's our age. He's still got plenty of potential. He's shown the potential, but right now it's not looking too good. Here's one I wanted to talk about. Bryan Reynolds has legs, plays center field, and is a switch hitter. He's having a bad first half, but is a 6'4" player. Maybe the Pirates will bite this time. So, talking about Bryan Reynolds, I talked about it with Chase and Matt not that long ago because we're looking at an article that John Heyman wrote, and it was talking about how the Pirates are still very set on Bryan Reynolds' price, which is astronomically high. Essentially meaning, I really do think you'll have to give up 2 of C.J. Abrams, Luis Campusano, Robert Hassel, James Wood, Jackson Merrill, 2 of those guys, I would say.
At least 2.
And more. So, I mean, I don't know. It depends on the package. I really like the idea of having Bryan Reynolds play center field. I mean, but that's an astronomically high price. He does have control. He's starting to heat up. I mean, I'll look up his stats right now. Chase, what do you think of Bryan Reynolds? And I mean, what do you think a trade package would look like, really?
See, the problem is that everyone is going to go back to the 6'4" player. What if that's just not him? What if that is his ceiling? Mm-hmm. Which we kind of saw that with Cedric Mullins last year. Cedric Mullins, everyone thought, oh my God, this kid's the next best thing. He had a 5.64 season, and now he's struggling heavily with the Orioles too. It's players have random breakout years. What if that's just one of those years? I know Bryan Reynolds has always been a solid baseball player, but 6'4" is pretty insane. I don't know if he eats a season like that again.
Yeah, that is absolutely.
So I'm not in favor for trading for him.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at his numbers right now. He's batting .249 with .325 on base percentage, .765 OPS, 10 home runs. He's picking it up. Last 30 games, he's batting .270 with .325 on base percentage and a .478 slugging. I'm not going to do that math for OPS. You look at his last 15, batting .328, .354 on base percentage, .623 slugging. That is pretty damn good. Then you look at his last 7, ridiculous. Even better. Yeah, they look at his last 7, even better. .407 average, .393 on base, .667 slugging. So maybe it was a slow start. I don't know. He's definitely starting to pick it up. But that's only going to heighten his value. I really think that's only going to heighten his value. And like I said, I think 2 of the guys that I mentioned will have to go. That's up to you guys if you want them. If you want them gone, if you really want Bryan Reynolds, or maybe even Grisham would go to the Pirates in a swap, in a center field swap, essentially. In that case, not opposed to it. But yeah, I don't know.
The only way I'll do this trade is if the Pirates eat Eric Hosmer's contract. That's the only way.
So Ace asked right here, why is Luis our setup man, bro? I feel like it should really be Chris Matt. So there's going to be a couple guys coming back in our bullpen. I think Pomeranz is a great candidate for that role. I think Castillo, if he, after a couple outings, I think he could be a great candidate for that role. Moreno could be a great candidate for that role. I don't think Luis Garcia is going to get many more setup man innings after those 3 guys come back. And I think it'll be kind of a rotational thing rather than one set setup man.
Yeah, I think you're the same. I think the same way. I was really surprised, speaking of Jose Castillo, that he was not called up for this. We all kind of were suspecting that he would be one of those guys called up. I thought it would be a great series to get him called up. You have Adrian Morejon. I would throw him out there in the setup man role just for a little bit to see how he does. He didn't pitch this series, which is a little concerning. I know they said they wanted to stretch him out to be a starter, but right now we just really need bullpen. Just let him throw the 1-2 inning stints.
Yeah.
And he definitely deserved to get at least one inning this series. There was 4 games. You could have thrown him out there once. Outside of that, I think once Palm and Castillo get back, you're not going to see Garcia in the 8th inning. You're going to see him probably in the 7th, maybe in the 6th, which that'll be solid. I see people over here talking about Jose Azocar not getting steady reps. It's just Mazara was hitting this series.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
He had like 5 hits this series. Like, you can't really take out a guy that gets 5 hits in a series.
Right.
He just did good.
Yeah, he did. He had himself a good series. Azocar, I like Azocar, man, but I essentially think he's in the same boat as Mazar. Just really solid outfield depth pieces. That's not a knock to them. I don't think anybody should be like, no, Azocar is really good and he deserves a starting spot. It's not a knock to them. I don't think he's a bad ball player. It's just a matter of there's better ball players. This team has better options. Maybe not internally, but externally there are better options than Azocar and Mazara. A few more questions. Let's see. I found some. Why do the Padres still want Moreno as a starter? Yeah, I saw that too. I'm not in
because they
favor
like
of it.
to repeat history until they can't.
Yeah, I mean, it's very scary why they want to do that. I'm not in favor of it. I know they might want to do it towards the end of the season, is what I saw, but I don't think it's a good idea.
No, it's not at all. Because like we said it on the podcast a couple times. Sorry, my glasses are a little messed up. That Motorhone goes about 60 to 70 innings before he gets hurt. And it's usually a shoulder injury. If you follow him across his minor league career, every single year, about 60 to 70 innings into the year, he gets hurt. 60 to 70 innings is perfect money for a solid reliever. I think Hader only throws like 70, maybe 80 at the most innings. And that's exactly what Moreno needs to be. I know they probably, both Moreno and the Padres, want him to be a starter just because we are losing a lot of guys to free agency the next 2 years. But you have to look at his track record and his injury record and go, dude, I know you want to be a starter, but we're going to take it slow with you. You're going to maybe get stretched out in some relief appearances, but you're not going to be a starter right now.
Completely agree. I don't think he should be a starter anytime soon. Do you think Tatis may look good in center? He's going to look good in shortstop. Let's see. Laureano. I saw a couple people talking about Laureano. What do you think of Laureano?
Is he back yet? Has he played? I don't think so, right?
Yeah, he's back.
Oh, he's back. What is he?
The only reason I know he's back is because I saw a highlight of him yelling at the dugout, and then the A's came back after it. It was kind of cool.
Let me see what he's doing right now. I'm 248, 333, 339, 673. He's basically average right now. He has a perfect 100 OPS. Let's see. If he picks it up, maybe, but outside of this, it feels like we're just trading for another Trent Grisham. He's not really hitting for a lot of power. He might be an upgrade defensively. His arm is out of this world. He has an absolute cannon for an arm, but we want an upgrade offensively, and if he doesn't provide that, then we got to go explore somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I like Laureano. I think he's a solid option, and of course, he has ties to Bob Melvin because of their time with the A's. I think any A's trade is going to be heavily influenced by Bob Melvin. I think that Manaea trade was heavily influenced by Bob Melvin. But yeah, that's about it. I don't really see any other questions. Chase, you want to talk about anything else, or do you have anything else to say?
Oh yeah, we mentioned I think it was the end of May that Cronenworth would have a better June than Eric Hosmer, and some people wanted to mind saying that we didn't know what we were talking about.
You're damn right.
Cronenworth is currently having a way better June than Eric Hosmer.
You're damn right.
Just wanted to put that out there.
You are damn right. It was only a matter of time for God to come back, and he absolutely looks the way he did in 2021. His basic, I mean, everything's starting to look better for him. He's starting to strike out a little less. He's starting to hit for more power. He's starting to do what we kind of expect him to do. Only time will tell what the Padres do in the outfield. Like we said, we think they need one more bat on top of Fernando. Rotation still looks great. I mean, are we over Blake Snell? No, Blake Snell's going to stay in this rotation. It was a tough series loss. I will say that. That's why it wasn't very enthusiastic today. But overall, I guess he'll take a split in a 4-game series. Only hurts because you could have taken first, but many more opportunities to take first here soon. But thank you guys for tuning in today, and we'll talk to you guys later.